This year, the theme for International Women's Day is Breaking the Bias.
International Women's Day is important to me because it's a day where we can celebrate the history and the power of women as well as the men that support us. We can look at the history and the women that fought for the equality that we have today, the social, the professional, the personal strides that we make every single day, and the achievements that we're making, as well as the strides that we'll have to make in the future, but the strides that we have already made to get us here today.
International Women's Day is important as it brings to the forefront how lucky we are within the developed countries to have equality that we do, especially compared to many places around the world. Living in the Middle East has highlighted this further, as there is definitely a greater disparity between genders. It's also an important reminder that the work to get female equality is not done yet.
I think one way we can break the bias in recruitment, and one thing that I think is particularly important, is that I think especially in larger companies, hiring managers need to be actively encouraging the females within the company to go for the more senior level roles and to go for the promotions. I think as women, often we see our male counterparts as more confident individuals, and maybe sometimes we can feel like they're the ones who deserve the promotions and the more senior level positions in the company. So I think hiring managers have a real responsibility to, ask the questions, figure out why people aren't going for these more senior level roles, and, encourage them to do so.
I think my biggest female role model is definitely my nan. She raised 6 children practically by herself, and she's taught me a lot of life lessons. She's taught me to be strong, to be independent, to be resilient, and I'm really proud of her and inspired by her every day.
So one of my female role models is a woman called Georgie Crawford. She is a health coach and a wellness speaker from Ireland, and she also has a podcast called Good Flow Podcast. And the reason I really admire Georgie is because her podcast is all focused around mental health, anxiety and self-care, and each week she has a different female guest on. I admire her as well because Georgie's been through quite a lot in her life, but despite everything, she always continues to look on the bright side of life, and she has a real positive attitude towards life, and I just really admire her for that.
As a female bodybuilder, I am part of a male-dominated industry and can often receive fairly negative comments from the general public regarding my physique, etc. I feel proud to be a woman within the industry and breaking the social norms regarding how women should look and act, especially within body image and strength.
I find it really hard to pinpoint just one time that I've been proud to be a woman. Today is one of them, a day where we just take time to celebrate all the achievements of us across the globe and just support one another in that same way.
This International Women's Day, help us break the bias.